Today, we bring you an uplifting story out of the ruins of Typhoon Haiyan, known as Yolanda to those it devastated most in the Philippines. Our reporter went to the central island of Cebu, flattened by high winds and flooding, to rendezvous with the Israeli Defense Force rescue team that chose this desperate region as a base for its operations. Well, upon arrival, the team discovered that over 1/3 of the sick and injured were children, without even basic shelter or fresh water or electricity. As the only unofficial filmmaker to accompany the Israeli team, Eitan Haddok brings us the inspiring behind-the-scenes story of how these rescuers brought more than help. They brought hope for a brighter future. On November 8th at 10 a.m., a typhoon of unprecedented power hit the Philippines. Among the most affected zones is the northern part of the island of Cebu. The deluge of water and record winds of 380 kilometers an hour left behind devastation and an already vulnerable population totally exposed. Houses, schools, churches, nothing could stop the surge, which caused the death of 5,000 people and left millions of people with no shelter. In the northern Cebu, the young student Claire Vincent was with her mother when the storm broke. Their house made of coconut wood has been devastated.
I was terrified. I took Claire's hand like this, and we ran away towards the school.
I was surprised that our house was...
I was afraid that our home and our things would be destroyed, that nothing wouldn't remain, and that our clothes would get wet. And I cried.
I cried.
These trees fell down on my house. That's why it collapsed.
From the house remains only this room, covered with fabric, where Claire and her mother lived together.
And don't forget your ukulele.
Claire's school has also been heavily damaged. For 2 weeks, the teaching has stopped. Nevertheless, this morning, Claire has prepared her school bag and is about to get back to school.
Play well, ukulele, and say thank you.
Salamat. Ayo, Claire. Good luck.
Thank you.
This morning, Claire and her ukulele are meeting an unusual teacher for a rehearsal.
How are you?
I'm okay.
We're waiting for you. Okay, where are the singers? They're missing, so we won't sing today.
Lieutenant Colonel Golan Vach has today under his command the music group of the school, Central 1, in Bogos City, where the Israeli mission has established its rescue operations. The group, led by Golan with his guitar, must be ready for the reopening of the school next week. But first, the school has to be rebuilt. This is the mission conducted by Golan and his men, but not the only one. All the children participate?
Everybody, children, parents, workers. I told them that today's the best lesson they can have for the beginning of the school year.
Which is?
Work hard to succeed.
That's what you expected to do when you came here?
No, definitely not.
That's the Bogo hospital that the IDF, or Tsahal, delegation of 160 men and women has established with 100 tons of equipment and goods. Arriving 1 week after the typhoon, the Israeli team has taken humanitarian control over the northern island, which has been severely affected. Besides reconstruction of the schools and infrastructure, medical care also is a top priority. Getting the hospital back to operational status, providing medical care to helpless populations who rush to the Tsahal base where medical care is free. It's a unique opportunity for the victims. In a country with the highest birth rate in the world, children represent 1/3 of the patients. In such an environment, the children are regularly subject to accidents and injuries.
There are a lot of skin infections. It's very important to teach them to continue treating themselves beyond the local treatment of wounds.
I served in the army, but nobody forced me to. I really wanted to come. I think that coming here is the best thing one can do in order to actively help and contribute.
Upon arrival, Tsahal has restored electricity, put the hospital back in working order, and raised its capacity. But the patients keep on crowding in the corridors in very harsh conditions, with stifling heat and humidity.
What I can tell you is that we arrived here and made a decision to add our hospital to the existing one, which had been very much harmed, without electricity, without problems of water, and a lack of doctors and medication.
This morning, Dov is visiting a patient in critical condition. Ariel was born 13 days ago, one day before the typhoon. After her metabolic system collapsed and her body was infected, her case became desperate. But Dr. Sefi Mendelovich decided to do everything possible and improvised an incubator for her with the aid of the technical team. Under the intensive care, Ariel is holding on.
Another 5 minutes and she would have been gone. Beyond the major infection problem, there is the respiratory issue which adds to it. Now she has to decide whether she wants to overcome the infection or not.
But Dov is already called to the operating room for a new birth. This time a C-section is necessary, and the team has no history on the pregnancy. The mother doesn't know she holds 2 twin girls. In minimal conditions, the team carries out a dozen surgeries a day. Today, we assist the first birth of twins. Everything goes successfully. The first baby born last week was called Israel, and now?
Who knows? 2 girls. So, Sarah, Leah.
Dov can get back to his little patients, but the psychological consequences of the drama remain. At high school, a psychological session is led by Colonel Dr. Eyal Fruchner. He's running a debriefing to leaders and teachers from the region. During this group therapy, the participants share their traumatic experience. They'll later be able to run the session by themselves with their colleagues and pupils.
Fix the house.
I can't fix my house because my husband is now at the hospital.
In the hospitals, I started to recover.
I started to get treatment and recover for my children. They need me for their future.
I stay calm because I have no husband here. It's far away. So I made myself strong.
It's all right to cry sometimes. It's all right to laugh sometimes. It is all right. And I say I'm fortunate to give. Okay, I'm sure you would have come to my country to help if it was the opposite way. By the way, as it was during the Holocaust, you know, the Philippines saved quite a lot of Jews. It was one of the only countries in the world that accepted Jews to come and get shelter. So then you were able to help us, and now we're able to help you.
It was a disaster. Schools were hit, houses destroyed, children were injured, people wounded. From their point of view, they saw it as the end of the world in front of their eyes. It's over, and now we have to help them go on and deal with their next challenges.
It helps so much. It helps so much. We must stay strong.
I really hope that it will go through from the teachers to the children. The children really need this emotional care.
And kids actually try to deal with the trauma, sometimes through stories and harsh words.
Someone say one room ripped up in an aggo. It's like a monster. Window. It touched. It was gross. Stinky. We shall imprison Yolanda.
At School Central 1, after 5 days of hard work, Golan's rescue teams are finally reaching their goal. Improvising when needed, everything is done to bring the children back to school on time. Tomorrow, Central 1 must reopen at all cost.
All this has been restored now, from this part to that one, and beneath there are classrooms.
Once the school is restored, its 1,500 children won't be left on their own to the dangers of the streets. And finally, Golan can enjoy the results of his hard work.
You see, those kids are supposed to study, and the classrooms we've restored. First and second grade. It's amazing.
Last rehearsal, the music group is ready. Claire, like her friends, will soon have a roof at school until she gets one for her own home. The humanitarian mission is reaching its end, a mission unlike any other for most of the participants.
Surely this mission is not like any other mission. It's impossible not to identify emotionally. You can't stay indifferent. Each one of us starts thinking of their own families, their homes. Being part of humanitarian aid delegations touches us deeply and moves us.
A wonderful surprise. Against all odds, this morning Ariel woke up in the arms of her happy mother.
Eating good? Eating good?
I am so happy. Now she eats much better. It's such a difference from the first day we brought her.
This is your angel. This is the angel. This is his work. What night and day.
We're joined now by Eitan in the studio. Eitan, thank you for joining us today.
Hello, David.
So how did your expectations before arriving there compare with the reality that you discovered?
Well, usually we are used to see Tsahal IDF force mission, humanitarian mission, go on a scene of earthquake, taking out people, saving people under demolition debris. This time was completely different. I mean, they had to support the population. They had to suddenly rebuild a school, which is something they have never done before. They themselves were surprised, and they had to improvise and to just give to the people what they need, to recover a normality, a normal life. So that was I think the main surprising thing that we and they discovered there.
Beyond the obvious tangible help that the Israeli team brought to these people, what did they actually bring? What did they actually leave behind, I should say?
Yeah. One of the officials told me one evening, what you brought to us is you woke us up. I mean, you brought us hope. There is no tomorrow with you. You work so fast, so quickly. Everything has to be done today, now. So I think that IDF Force mission brought a spirit to those people, and I think that you could see that, and that was very important.
Well, briefly, what didn't we see in this film, behind the scenes?
Yeah, there was other things. For example, they brought also, because of the lack of electricity, the water system went down. So they brought new system of water. They brought water to the people. And the second thing, the operation, surgeon operation, they brought very high level of surgeries over there. They did tens of surgeries every day. So that was another thing we didn't see.
Well, Eitan, again, thank you for bringing this piece to us here at Inside Magazine.
Thank you, David.
And thank you for watching us here at Inside. Be sure to tune in next week at the same time.